This is Donna.
And this is TJ.
We're the Hills.
And this is
Dinner
and a Marriage.
All right. Hi. We're back.
We are.
What's the first thing we do? Shop talk, shop talk. Do a little shop talk with Donna. Hi. Please like, follow, subscribe, and hit that bell for notification. And yes, help us out. That would be amazing. All of our stuff is in the description on both the podcasts and on YouTube through Linktree. Was I forgetting something?
No, I just you need to move your mic closer, homie.
Oh, okay. Is that better?
Like it can be kind of off to the side, but you had it like a little crazy.
Like,
a little crazy.
Follow, subscribe.
Like you need to see little dots.
I need to see the dot da 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 da.
Wow. All right. Well, you made that weird.
I always do. So happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. We are past Mother's Day, and hopefully everyone had a fantastic day.
We did a little late Mother's Day.
That's right. We went out to Mexican today. It was delicious.
You had the Mexican after party.
That's funny. We had the best thing ever. Deep fried cheesecake.
Oh, yes. The deep fried cheesecake was pretty awesome.
So good. And that's also why I don't have my Invisalign in, because, yeah, we just did that. And I was like, I'm going to wait. I can do it later.
No more lispy business?
Well, yeah, maybe a little. Maybe a little bit.
Huh.
So while he's messing with that, I'm going to talk about my water bottle.
I'm good.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, but I know you love your water bottle.
I do.
Whatever. You trying to give a plug to somebody?
I am.
Oh, wow.
I'd totally be cool with a sponsor from Circul. I think I've tried every flavor. This one is lemonade. I don't know about lemonade. I think my favorite one was the sweet tea. And then I'd like the berry, the original one that came with it. So when you buy this, it comes with 2 flavors, I think. And I like that they don't mix and you can turn it to whatever flavor extravaganza you'd like in your mouth.
I know that you think that that's pretty cool and whatever, but I cannot get over the vitamin aftertaste of all of. Doesn't matter what setting you have that thing on.
Oh, if you have it on X, it's just water.
Nah, but is it?
It is.
No.
Well, it
you
filters
have that weird
it.
little taste around the ring on your lips. It's not my jam.
All right. Well, okay. Well, let's get to it.
What are you getting to?
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, I know that we,
talked about what we were going to talk about.
Discussed a variety of options and an array and an assortment of stuff, but...
Yeah. So we talked about kind of going back to why we originally wanted to podcast, or things we wanted to podcast about, which was about us, our marriage, our life. Yeah.
Wow.
We veered away from that a little bit. And we did some fun stuff and played some games and did some surveys and whatnot. But yeah, we decided we were going to bring it back.
I kind of think that I'll be down with your idea for cooking. I still don't know how to work the whole
podcast.
Yeah, the whole microphone thing and whatever. We
need to get a little clip-on one, I think, for you to do that.
Little lapel.
Yeah, the
lapel
mics. I looked those up on Amazon recently. I was like, this is probably a good idea. I saw that one guy doing it when he was walking around his property with his GoPro, and he had the lapel. Yeah. So I do think we that will be an investment. And that would be how you'd be able to do your cooking. And I've been cooking the last couple nights.
See, I will say this. Because, and I know that I'm going to veer off a little bit from what we were talking about,
yeah.
but my only, and I'm not sure about the whole cooking thing, is it's kind of like how you talk about me in construction. I think that I would cook and just like turn into Gordon Ramsay. And then you'd be like, we can't use any of your audio, so I just play music over it.
That's so funny. We were doing something today, right? Because we're outside building. I say we lightly. I'm filming. He's building. And something happened, and he's like, SOBMF, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, guess we're going to have to redo that. And he's like, but this is real life, which he's right. It is.
Wasn't trying to go out of my way to be all corrupt or anything.
I totally
just
get
things
that.
happen. You almost ran a drill into my finger. Not you, but I almost ran a drill into my finger. I had a screw like fly off the wall. Like things happen, and I.
Oh no! You came down the ladder and hit your knee or something.
I hit my knee, and that sucked, and that made me.
That made him praise God in all kinds of ways.
In all sorts of horrible ways, but so yeah, that's the only thing with the cooking. I could see a little bit of flamboyance.
You could totally be Gordon. You could be Gordon Ramsay. That'd be fine. I mean, people love that guy. It's all right.
Oh yeah,
it would be okay.
Well,
yeah.
I'm not saying that.
I mean, I love you, and you are who you are, so it's okay.
No, hi.
Oh, and we didn't even mention we are in a new little studio space in our RV. This was technically Gabriel's room, our youngest son. And since he's not with us on the homestead here, we decided, let's set up our podcast stuff in here, and then we don't have to take it down every night.
Just to clarify, there was not ever a conversation that we had about this.
There's a mouse in my pocket.
Yes. And
that's
so,
the weeness between us.
We currently are chilling with the dog kennel.
Yeah. Our table is the dog kennel.
And it's currently hotter than crap in here.
It's a little warm in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
well, part of the reason that is too is that when we were gone, I didn't turn the AC down because she
tried to cook the dog.
No, because it was a little bit chilly when we left. It was a little
overcast, but that's why you leave it on auto setting.
I know, I should have. I mean, it was on. It just was not very low.
Yeah.
So,
but this is currently a legit hot box.
Yeah, it's a little warm in here. Plus, we've got all the electronics going on.
Yes. So yes, we did say that we would discuss more stuff about our marriage or marriage, or
how we got here and things, all the things.
Why we're still here.
Yeah, why we still like each other, or how we got here. Yeah,
lots and lots of work.
Yeah, marriage is work, honestly.
So.
Sometimes good, sometimes not so good.
I think that, marriage is exactly just, it's supposed to be normal life, right? It really is supposed to.
It is normal life.
Well, I know, but you're supposed to meet someone, fall in love, get married, and then somebody had to go and screw it up and be like, and they lived happily ever after. Yeah. And so many people think. And when you're young and whatever, and I don't want to say first love or whatever, or you're even just in the first dating stages and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is epic. This is going to be perfect and blah, blah. And no, like for a short period of time, maybe. But then all the hard stuff, depending, wow, I'll poke you. All the hard stuff. If you don't put in a tremendous amount of work and effort, can seem way harder than it needs to be.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, we're kind of lucky, though. because like you still give me butterflies.
I know. I wake up every day thinking that, knowing that,
Do you? Like in
and
a
just
good way?
being like, wow, I'm awesome. No.
Oh, that's funny.
No, I don't know. I mean, there's times that I think that we both still do that to each other, but I don't think that all the time. Half the time I think like, wow,
Oh, a lot of times
I'm
I'm
kind of
like,
a pain in
man,
the
I
ass
don't.
to be
Yeah,
around.
well, I was just gonna say that. Not that you are, but I say to you all the time, oh, I don't know how you put up with me. Like, I mean, girls have things, right? Like all kinds of roller coasters of emotions and whatever. And there are some days where I just need to cry.
Oh yeah, you're a scary ride some days.
Yeah, and he's like, why are you doing that? And I'm just like, just let me do this. It's okay. But
Yeah.
yeah, we make it through it.
No, for sure. But there's an incredible amount of effort that's got to be put in.
Yeah.
And, you got to swallow your pride sometimes, make some apologies that maybe you don't agree with.
Huh. Well,
Oh, I mean, if you want to talk total honesty, right? I mean, it's like that with any relationship in the world.
oh
You might
yeah,
have a
even
friend
friends.
and you
Yeah.
might, kind of
Hurt their
mostly
feelings or
like disagree
whatever.
with them about something or whatever, and
Hmm.
say you were having some conversation and you're like, what in the world? And maybe one of you said something dumb, and it's not worth the relationship to be like, I'm gonna stand my ground and like stick a fork in this thing and prove to this bastard that I'm right. You have to kind of go, oh, hey, that was totally.
Well, yeah, that's how you have long-lasting friendships anyway, I would imagine. I mean, like my, forever friends that I've been friends with for 30 years or whatever, that's
Yeah, but there's
if
two
not
types of
more.
friends.
Well, that's what that sound was.
There's friends that you would end up having for a really long time through
Mhm.
anything because you've been able to also have those hard conversations.
Yeah.
And
And you've been through the thick of it with them.
yes, or they also have thick enough skin where they can accept the truth when you tell them. Or there's just the people that you have around because they're fun to have around. And then the first or second time that they're offended,
They're not around anymore.
then they're not around anymore.
Mhm.
And it's kind of the same thing with,
Mm.
I mean,
Mm. Mm.
being married, relationships, you can.
It's a it you either blah, 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 wow, it either makes or breaks you, basically. But I think that when we got married, we really set a goal of to say like we're gonna work it through this. Like,
Yeah, we'll never get divorced,
yeah.
even if it kills us.
Wow. I mean, but
That's what we said. But it says
yeah.
until death do you part. It didn't say how long that was supposed to be. Who
Yeah.
set up the meeting with God? How that happened?
Who's killing who?
Right? I mean, I'm just at the point in our lives when we met, we were determined. And then
Mm.
we had some, I
Oh,
want to say inside outside
yeah.
problems, like
Yeah.
things that happened that weren't necessarily caused by you and me,
Mhm.
that made life extremely difficult and would make most people run away, flee, wave the white flag,
Oh, for sure.
bust out an old school cannon if you needed to.
For
Like,
sure.
yeah.
So that's kind of what we were going to talk about. But let's talk about how we got married and stuff first. I mean, we did say, "Oh, we've been married this long," but we haven't really said like kind of how we got there.
Yeah, we went on an amazing first date.
Yeah.
You brought an overnight bag.
Yeah.
You pretty much never left. About a year later, you were like, this is a good thing, and you're going to marry me. And I was like, all right. And then rings came in the mail, and I was like, wow. And then we told everybody, and then we got married in my sister and brother-in-law's bar.
Yep. Tito's
That's the
Krusty
short
dong.
version.
That is the very short boy version, for sure.
It's the accurate version.
Wow. Huh. I roped him in. Crazy. Yeah. No, I don't. It's such a weird thing because, like we had said before, we talked or we met on the internet and then we talked on the phone a lot.
Yeah, for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. And then we went on our first date. It was the first time we ever met in person. But I think we already knew when we were talking on the phone.
Well, we did, but it was like, is this
But it solidified
really,
it
really
when we
for
went
real?
out.
But your first huge laugh in that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
breezeway of that apartment complex,
Yeah.
and it was so genuine, and I very rarely meet people with that much of a boisterous, big, huge laugh. Like, it just comes out so natural. I was like, oh, she's not a liar. I don't know how I knew when that happened, but I knew.
Yeah. Yeah. And he had said, like as we were talking throughout the time, like we both had 2 kids, right? Mine were a little older, his were younger, and I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah, I've done that age that my kids were that age, da da da." And we had initially said we were going to wait a little while before introducing
No,
the kids.
we did not say this. You
I did.
were like,
We should wait.
we're not meeting the kids for like 2 months.
Was it
Like,
not
you weren't
that
going to bring
long?
your kids
Was
over
it?
for 2 months is what you told me.
That was the initial
No, 3
thought.
weeks later, there they were. And I was like,
So see, I didn't move in immediately. So yeah, and he made us dinner. Was that? And all the kids got to meet each other.
and Gary and Chloe brought over games for the boys.
Yeah.
Like, we played board games.
We played board games. And yeah, it was fun. Gabriel was still in diapers.
Yep. With his brown tooth.
Yeah. Did he have that yet? I feel like it hadn't grown in yet. Because it grew in.
Oh, maybe it was still missing.
Yeah,
'Cause he
so
didn't
Gabriel
have a tooth for a long
had
time.
a little accident when he was a baby, and he hit his gums on a table, coffee table, right?
Yeah, he was starting to walk, and
Yeah.
he tripped one day, like fumbling, and he was next to the table that he normally has his hand on,
Yeah.
and he fully missed and whacked his face, and oh my gosh, it was blood-curdling
Yeah.
screams.
And so when his tooth grew in, it literally grew in as a dead tooth. It was a little brown tooth. And I don't think he had to have been like 8 or so when I took him to the dentist, and the dentist is like, let's just take that out so it doesn't affect his other teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And we did.
Yep.
Yeah. And out of all the kids, he's the only one who had braces. Everybody else's teeth turned
Had
out
straightish
pretty good.
teeth.
Ooh, that crack. Did you hear that?
That was my neck.
Oh, dang.
Just from turning my head.
Holy moly, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ooh, it sounded like when somebody shocks you.
I need more lubrication.
You must. More water. Less Modelo.
Oh, wow.
Just kidding. We did get to have Modelo at dinner, and it was
on draft.
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've had Modelo on draft. But anyways, so the kids met, and
we had an amazing relationship for the longest time.
we did.
We went on motorcycle rides.
Yeah.
Went and did our things.
Yeah. And I think initially, because we both were divorced, that we kind of tried to set up a pattern so that the kids would all be together and then with the other parent during the opposite times. But then that started to become
sketchy.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, that caused a slight rift in our relationship. Not like we wanted to separate or anything, but it was just really difficult. I know when we first got together, TJ was like, I don't ever want you to have to meet my ex because, you don't need to and whatnot.
Psycho.
Yeah. Well, I think oh my gosh, how long do we know each other? Like 2 weeks, and I called you because I
She showed up
went.
at the house.
I went. I don't know why I was at your house without you. Did I
I,
get there before you got home from work or
I
something?
think that's what it was.
But I called him and I was like, "There's some girl in your yard," and he's like, "What? What does she look like?" And so I tell him, and he's like, "What the hell's she doing there?" And I'm like, "Who is that?" Because I didn't know. And so he ended up talking to her, but she was literally rifling around the yard, like taking stuff like a wind chime or something. And yeah, I was like, and at first, because after that, I went home and I'd live with a roommate, and I told him, and he's like, maybe they're still together, or he just
Oh, I didn't know he was planting those seeds in your head.
yeah, he's like, maybe they just recently split up. I'm like, no, he said they've been apart for over a year, and he's like, I don't know.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, I didn't let that deter me. So, but we both thought, well, let's try to do this co-parenting thing and, co-parent with our exes, but we had a tough time with that.
Yeah, and that adds
Stress.
tremendous stress and strain to a relationship.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think knowing the way that we are and both of our temperaments and whatever, I think that if we had just met and had kids, our life would have been way different and way less roller coastery. Like, well, it was more like a typhoon. But
Yeah.
there were times where it was so awful that, yeah, that
Yeah.
it was that bad.
It was bad for a little bit, for sure.
I don't know. I guess really, I mean, yeah, this is why we were going to do this, to give other people hope. If
Yeah.
you're going through some really, really, really bad stuff, you got
Right.
to just get through it. You can't give up.
For
Don't,
sure.
like, absolutely don't.
There
We
was,
will
I
go
mean,
through and tell um, a bunch of horror stories.
yeah, yeah.
And when we say that, we're not lying. Like, I'd say
We're
that,
not trying to sugarcoat
yeah,
anything
we've
because
we've
it's,
had a
yeah,
relationship that has been really, really awesome for us, and we needed each other, like going through everything that we went through. But
for sure.
it the only thing that I can say that like we didn't have going on that we didn't have to go through is like fidelity or infidelity.
I'm like, what? Yeah. Yeah, no,
Like
we never had
it was
that.
never
Thank
that.
God.
It's just
That, for
talking.
both of us, that would be the end all
Yeah, that would be
anyway. So,
the dunzo.
yeah.
But um, it's just everything with children and the system and
Oh,
the way that
yeah.
everything is set up
Mm-hmm.
that makes things very, very difficult when there's more information going around now that um, I think that people hopefully will start to understand a little bit better and whatever, right? But the institution and the schools and the way that kids are programmed nowadays is really, really, really messed up.
Yeah. And that's something
It's
too that we wanted to bring up. The difference because so our kids have a pretty wide range, right? So our oldest,
currently 18 to 30.
yeah, yeah, he just turned 30. Yeah,
Yeah,
jeez.
18 to 30.
So 18 to 30. So 5 years apart, except for our two youngest are, and I say are because none of that matters as far as us saying like we did have we did go through a divorce, but it's like they're still all our kids. Like none
Yeah,
of I wouldn't ever say they're not. Like the
it should be
boys,
that way.
yeah, yeah, for sure. People that had even knew me for a long time, and I would talk about our kids, they didn't realize like that our two youngest technically weren't biologically mine, but they were always. I've never even mentioned that. There'd be no reason.
Just wanted everybody to think you were a busy, busy bee.
I was really busy. No, I don't think of them any differently than biologically being mine or not. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So, anyways, back to how we got married, really. So the kids met after 3 weeks, and we ended up going through some custody stuff. And we were sitting with the attorney one day, and the attorney said, "So what's your guys' plan? Like, are you living together? It would look a lot better in the court's eyes if you're married." And we left there, and I think we talked about it for a second or two, like, well, what do you think? And it's not
we
like
walked out of there, and she's like, "He's the most brilliant man I've ever met."
You?
No, the attorney.
It was Gail, that lady. Remember?
Oh.
I was like,
thinking of
who's
somebody
he?
else. Yes. Well, you were like, she's the most amazing, smart woman I've ever met in my life. I will take all of her advice all the time.
We literally talked about it and then like scheduled it for that weekend or something. And he's right. I ordered the rings online. But they were so cool.
They were cool.
Like, his original ring was a band that inside the band was a cutout, which I left in the other room.
Of the band that you had.
Of my band. Yeah.
So it was the outer portion.
Yeah. He lost his, sadly, at work one time. I'm pretty sure at work. He lost 2 rings.
And then we got another one, and then I lost that one too.
Yeah. And I still have mine, and then I got a ring years later for, you said it was our anniversary or something, but I feel like it was Christmas time. Well, whatever. And then I just recently got this upgrade. So yeah. But anyways.
Look at you.
Rings. That didn't matter. Like, a band was totally fine with me and you, and I don't care if you wear one or don't wear one. It's never bothered me because
we did it for the cause.
Not a jealous person. So we decided, and then I think we just kind of asked your sister, like, "Hey, do you care if we get married in your bar?" And we found an officiant, and she was awesome. It was so crazy because she's talking and everything she said was like spot on. Remember?
I don't remember exactly what she said, but I remembered it was good, and I know that my dad was a little bit annoyed that we were getting married by a lady, and at the end of it, he didn't really care. Yeah. But I'm like, we're getting married in a bar called Tito's Krusty Dog. Like, could we screw it up anymore? Just like...
That's another story.
Not that I'm talking any smack about that place, because it was one of my favorite little joints.
For sure.
But I'm just saying, like, I mean, come on now.
We were married in the Krusty Dog.
We were.
And then we went to dinner with your parents, and we went to
Terracotta Red.
Terracotta Red, which we went there every year for our anniversary / your dad's birthday until they moved to Texas. Well, we missed 2020.
Well, and we missed... Did we miss the year in Utah?
No, because I flew back.
Oh, yeah, you did. So, yeah, we went there, every year for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep, every year. Until your parents moved to Texas.
And we went there last year, too, for our anniversary.
Oh, we did. On purpose.
Oh, wait. Yeah, because the year before that, I missed for my dad's birthday.
I actually still have that photo.
I have it in my phone, too. Yeah. I look fat.
So do I. It's okay.
I look like I ate a chipmunk. Oh, and his name was Theodore.
Oh, that's cute.
Right? Why?
I just thought of something I can't say.
You can.
No. All right.
Oh, wow. She's going to keep it clean on that note. We'll be better prepared next time.
Bye, everybody. And before you go, visit us on our social medias at Linktree/The Hills on Wheels, linktr.ee/The Hills on Wheels, no spaces.